teach her pupils. A frustrated teacher who had no chalkboard at all to write after strong winds actually carried away a chalkboard she bought for her class, decided to be innovative. So Matilda Dasola started what she calls airwriting. She gestures in the air and her pupils also write down what they see the teacher doing. But how effective is this? In today's episode of Ghana's School of Shame, Jojo Kobna takes you to Kantu DA Primary School in the Wild West District, where teachers say they lack basic learning tools, which frustrates them.
Strong winds and heavy rains pulled down a madhouse structure that served as a classroom in Kantu, a community in Wild West District of the Upper West region. The chalkboards were also destroyed. About 3 classes were forced to relocate under a tree. So the teacher in Primary 2, Matilda Dasola, tried to get another chalkboard, but that one was also carried away by another strong wind. Frustrated, she organized a PTA meeting, but the parents are yet to raise enough funds to buy plywood for the chalkboards.
There was a time we called for PTA, so they raised some small amount. But looking at it, it will not reach all the classrooms, and it's not each person that removed the money; it's the whole community. So we are still appealing to add more, so that we can get some plywood, and so that we'll be managing for the meantime.
Matilda has started something called airwriting. This simply means gesturing in the air for pupils to write.
To write the letter A, slant the number 1 to the left and extend another number to the right. Now, join the 2 lines horizontally.
So this is our A. A B, enter. Enter.
Writing in the air for pupils to write is not only stressful but also ineffective.
With this our condition is very difficult, because assuming I was having all the facilities, I wouldn't have been struggling as I'm struggling. I would have just showed it. There would have been some objects. I'll even show that this is that, and
don't they have my first copy book or the phonetic writing?
Nothing. They don't have.
They don't have what?
They don't have my first copy. There was a time we requested for, like, the parents to come and they said they don't have money.
Kweku was unable to write the letter F, but Matilda did not give up on him.
Kweku, karamanu ntofon ekowa. E wonto. Ale ngwara ka back abinyanle aka alumbo. F sangbara. Fa ma fa to aka sanso. Nto na fa to sanso. From our F.
Numeracy lessons are quite easy. The children learn addition by counting stones.
Can you eat it? Good.
Children without books also write in the sand.
Number 2. Number 3. Number 4.
It is the reason why the numbers here are also not encouraging. The pupils rather prefer farming to school because of the school environment. One of the children, Asonta, confesses that coming to school is no longer fun because they do not have a school building and enough teachers.
At school, during
the rainy season, we miss many classes. We cannot study. The teachers don't come to school when it rains, so we are not happy.
The headmistress of Kantu DA Primary School says they have been trying to get their pupils motivated, but they are currently at their wits' end.
The environment is not welcome. No blackboards. We are sitting under the trees and there are no blackboard for the teachers to use and teach.
The only classroom block in good condition also had its roof ripped off. Members of the community say they had renovated the roof twice already and now want government to renovate it this time around.
We roofed the building ourselves. We bought the wood and the roofing sheets. We cannot afford the expensive roofing sheets, so we bought cheaper ones. Unfortunately, it is always ripped off by the strong wind. We beg the government to come and fix this problem.
In 2015, the government decided to build a new classroom block for Kantu, but it was abandoned after the 2016 elections. Although the building has been roofed, the blockwork high up the building has almost detached from the rest of the structure, and it is also badly slanted. It can collapse anytime soon. This is an emergency and should not be ignored. A non-governmental organization in the northern region focused on education, School for Life, organized residents of Kantu to form a club to address the needs of the school. Under its citizen-led actions for educational accountability responsiveness projects in Ghana, members of the club have written letters to the Wild West District Assembly, but so far nothing has been done.
We vote all the time, but there is no development. It seems we only exist to vote. We have problems in this school and our community, but they have not been solved. Next time, we will not vote. We want our children to go to school because we believe our educated children will solve the challenges in this community.
The members of the club promised to buy blackboards for the school, but want government to finish up the building so the children can move in.
So a blackboard must don't make one support. We had planned to move our children into the uncompleted building so they can study there. The plan was to buy chalkboards into the classroom, but the contractor says we cannot move in. We have to contribute to buy chalkboards for our children. We cannot wait for the government. But they must come and finish up this building. So as a child, you
With the government doing very little, the people in Siru, also in the Wild West District, have decided to do more.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Firstly, the school started with a pupil teacher called Monica. She started a KG class after completing the Wild Polytechnic. She did not receive a salary, but taught for 3 years before GES recognized the school in 2008. When the school got a new headmistress, Monica quit teaching to start a farming business. The headmistress, Dondoma Mary, organized a community to aid the school. The community members constructed sheds to house the children. Some students from the University of Development Studies also came to the community to do voluntary work. They organized the community and cut down some trees and designed benches and tables for the pupils.
They were out to help deprived areas with schools with difficulties. So when they approached us, our major challenge was furniture. First, I had to carry packing case from Wa to this place with the help of a motokin, with the help of my PTA chairman and the community. And that was what the students were using. Packing case like car packing cases and those ones. So when they came and saw the children in that mood, they were touched. Then they met the community, and together with the community, they fell down some dawa tree. Then with that one, they used and they created these benches for us.
Siru DA Primary School does not benefit from the school feeding program, so the community donated groceries from their farms to feed their children. The ladies in the town take turns cooking for the children daily.
When I came and I sat our first meeting, they made me know that because the children were young and they could easily get hungry, they decided as a community to contribute foodstuffs. That is, after harvest, they could contribute maize at least each household could contribute 10 bowls of maize.
So how do they pay the people who cook?
They don't pay them. It's a voluntary work.
But anytime it rains, schooling here virtually comes to an abrupt end. Community members say they have done their best but want governments to build a permanent school structure for them.
Tungwa pilu ni government bason tesomboja temi turu elati yala teacher hen bankuti banamba yala jakuti kana tungwa ebelate tenant so ebama aku admu TDC ambia obunga office so chere nembo yala ja yiben loboring.
Unfortunately, the Wild West District Assembly is cash-strapped.
They themselves have seen that the challenges within the sector are numerous, and so what do they can't sit aloof and not doing something. So I try that much of it where we hear that a community is doing that, we want to support, to serve as an example to the other communities to emulate, because if we are waiting for resources from the assembly and they are not coming, but in the meantime, what do we do to secure that our children should have something that they can rely on? The assembly normally budget, like in terms of IGF, to generate about 158,000. We never got all the 158,000 within a year. It's challenging.
This means for any drastic positive change to happen in a district, the central government would have to invest heavily in education infrastructure. There's a clear link between infrastructure and quality education. The Ghana Education Service knows it all too well.
Feel very, very bad. Even at times, very difficult for you to visit some of the schools. Well, we have seen the situation. If there had been maybe an individual issue, that one we can do. But the case is not like that. The BE performance is lower. Very, very low.
What's the performance
in terms of performance?
Until government invest heavily in education, the outcome will always be poor in the Wild West District. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
And very touching images there. Jojo Kobina, the man behind that story, is here with us. I thought I had seen it all, but this is unbelievable. I mean, I just can't imagine this. Writing in the air, that's what's happening in our schools now?
Yes, air writing. When I saw it, I was actually very shocked. Okay, so it was in person.
Yeah.
When I was interviewing the woman, preliminary interviews, and then she said, oh, so I do air writing, and I was like, what is air writing? Then she demonstrated, and I was like, wow. And you can see that the communities, the teachers, they are very committed to their work. They really want to support the children. They really want to, and the children too are eager to learn. But the infrastructure deficits, all these amenities not there, really frustrates them. And so sometimes a teacher would have to, they just really tell you that they have to really psych themselves before they even come to school. Yeah. And when they get there, they don't have this, they don't have this. They have to put themselves in order and then make sure that their children to feel motivated enough to learn. And it's a lot. It's actually a lot, because we just need blackboards, you just need exercise books, you just need A4 sheets, and then my first copy books. I mean, those are the books that we used to use when we were children.
And what's been the challenge in the case of particularly the Kantu DA Primary School?
The biggest challenge, you know, in 2015, government started building a school block for them. The block started, and unfortunately, when government changed hands, the project stalled. Until date, the structure is there. The children can easily move in, but unfortunately, there's a major crack at the top. So it has to be repaired. They have to fix the school so the children can go there. So since 2015, a project that started has not been completed, and the children are eagerly waiting to enter those classrooms. So the immediate need, if governments can quickly run to the place and finish that school, and then get them.
So the project is already underway.
It's already there.
All that's needed now.
Or is to finish, to plaster, to make sure that finishing touches, so the children can easily go there and then benefits. And then with that, they can even do the chalkboards close to the walls, so they wouldn't need to buy plywood and all that. And with this, I mean, at least some small money can fix it, because when you see that the whole structure is already done, so it's just plastering and making sure that they have doors, they have windows, and then that's it. And then the flooring to make sure that screening is done, and then the furniture, and the children are good to go. And so government should really do something. Well,
you've been speaking to the education directorate, and those who work there. Why is government not acting on this?
You know, when we listened to the coordinating director of the WA West, he said the whole year they budgeted, they wanted to raise funds, IGF. They planned to raise 158,000. They couldn't even raise 100,000. There is no way to raise money. It's a very poor district, and so there's no way that they can tax people. It's very difficult. I mean, they've been trying to be innovative as possible, but there is no money. So it's just the District Assembly Common Fund that can really push them. And WA West, if you look at that particular district, is very wide and very large, and the community is very, very, very deprived. So many needs, so many problems, and so where to prioritize. And education is not the only thing. People are crying for water, people crying for many other things, health facilities, many other facilities. So it is funding. Funding is the biggest challenge there.
But this feeds into this whole story that you've been telling, painting the image of what the status of our education is at the basic level in some of the regions across Ghana. What is this latest add-on pointing to, and what's your personal reflection on some of the institutions you've visited so far?
You know, when you're out there filming, it gets to the point you become very depressed about it, because you see the magnitude of the issue. It's so much. I mean, the statistics: 1.2 children without furniture, who are sitting on the floor, and then the buildings are in a very terrible state, and then you see that the children have no books, no textbooks, so you wonder, okay, where do we really start from? Because the problem is big, and it's more like trying to shake a baobab. You know, it's very difficult. Like, where do we really start from? But if government is really committed to it, and government says we have to solve this particular problem, I know that the problem will be solved, because it is having a plan and saying that, okay, within 5 years we're going to do this, we're going to invest XYZ money into this, and then make sure that, and there's so many corporate institutions that will be willing to actually provide furniture, and kind-hearted people who will be providing furniture. And so this story, I pray that corporate organizations will see it, and then they'll come through and say, let's help them, because we can't wait for government. And
that's why I'm interested in the community itself, the source of economic activity, and why we're not seeing bodies such as the parent-teacher organizations, the associations, and the youth of the area come through to say, okay, we'll finish this up.
You see, the people are very farmers, and they're not really doing any large-scale farming. Doing something very small. This was exactly the question I posed to one of the parents, which will come next week. But let me just.
So there's more even coming.
There's more coming next week. So I asked the PTA chairman, why are you not supporting your children in school? And then he looked at me and then he laughed and he told me, who built the school? He said, we built the schools. We were the people who started the school, built the school, brought teachers before government even eventually brought teachers.
So the school was started out of community
initiative. And then the man said, but times have changed. Things are very hard. Then he told me a story that I was shocked. He said the son asked him for 50 pesos to buy sweet. And he said he had no money. Because he had no money, he yelled at the son. And then when the son left, he said when the son left, he cried. He said he cried and he said, my son just wanted 50 pesos. I only yelled at him because I wanted him to get away. But it spoils my mood the whole day. So what the man was saying is that they do not have the money, they do not have the resources. And this is the same school where many children are not even in the classroom because they are hungry. And that is Kantu. That is a story for next weekend, next weekend's next week's episode of Ghana Schools of Shame, where you get to see how even school feeding is actually impacting, attendance of school, and it's a problem, and especially with very poor communities. And if you look at the Ghana Statistical Service, you look at the demographics of Wild West, it's not a very rich community. It's not.
Anyway, so if there's a message to those who can help, what would you say?
The children are really out there. They are eager to learn. They are eager to make something for themselves. Unfortunately, it is because of where they were born. And so if anyone wants to help, the person is welcome to help. Schools, book supplies, many other things, and then we can actually send them to the children to make the children smile so that they can be productive, they learn, and then they can be someone, create a very meaningful impact in society. And so I really plead with all the people who are watching that they should do something about this.
Jojo Kovina, thank you. And we'll be looking forward to the next episode next week?
Next week, yes.
Okay, it's coming up here on the Joy News channel. You don't want to miss that. But